Hello! Welcome to this week's video. For this week, I am doing my book haul for the month of October and announcing the winner of September's giveaway and giving you a new book giveaway in this video. So stay tuned for that. I think for this month we're just doing the book haul. There's not going to be a book wrap-up because I have a few books going, but I don't think I'm going to finish any of them in the next few days as we end off the month. So I don't think there's going to be a book wrap-up, so there's just going to be this book haul here for you guys today. So let's get started. And in case you're new here, what we do is we show off the books and we read the back blurbs, and then we do a giveaway. So let's start off with the books from that pile there, in the hopes of lessening that pile, but that won't happen anytime soon because there's the piles off screen that you guys don't see that still have to go up there. So let's get started. The first book is a vintage Harlequin Presents. It's Emma Darcy's The Wrong Mirror from 1986, originally published as a Mills and Boon, which is the UK equivalent of Harlequin. He had robbed her of everyone she loved. To Karen Aylward, a newspaper magnate, Hal Chisholm was a monster. He had refused to marry Christy, her pregnant twin sister, so that Christy had given up their son at birth to be adopted by Karen. Then Christy was fatally injured in a terrorist attack, and from her deathbed she had told Hal about their child. It was the first Hal had heard of him. He wanted the son he had never known, and he threatened to take him away unless Karen agreed to marry him. To her, he had seemed to be a man of no feeling, yet clearly he was, and the feelings he aroused in Karen were equally intense. Next we have the brilliant Miss Beverly Jenkins' Night Song. And I think this was her first book, I think. (1994). Carol Lee Henson knows no soldier can be trusted to stay in one place, and that includes handsome Sergeant Chase Jefferson of the 10th Cavalry. Dallying with the dashing man in blue could cost the pretty independent Kansas schoolteacher her job and her reputation. So Kara is determined to repel Chase's advances, even though her aloof facade barely masks her smoldering desire. Never before has Chase longed for a woman the way he aches for lovely Kara Lee. The strong-willed ebony beauty, however, will not surrender easily. But with tender words and soulful caresses, Chase intends to conquer the reluctant schoolmarm's misgivings and teach her how to love fully, sensuously, and forever. So very much looking forward to this one. I, of course, have heard wonderful things about Beverly Jenkins, but I never read her before, so when I saw that one, and I believe that's her first book, I definitely had to grab it. Next we have another vintage Harlequin, An Impossible Situation by Margaret Mayo. Published in 1990, originally by Mills and Boon. The man was unscrupulous, and he'd won. Tamara's late father had left his renowned jewelry company to Kyle Kramer, not to her, and Kyle had wasted no time in seizing complete control. He'd always been a thorn in Tamara's side, but now it appeared that the business wasn't to be their only battleground, for Kyle seemed to have designs on Tamara herself. It was as if he wanted to add her to his growing collections. Tamara had no intention of letting Kyle storm her defenses, but would she be strong enough to withstand the onslaught of his passionate seduction? Next, we have another romance, clearly a historical. Patricia Grasso's Pleasuring the Prince. And since we're doing it, why not do it? This one was published in 2006. Fancy Flambeau. Oh, that name. I might have been born just plain white trash, but Fancy was my name. Comment below if you know where that's from. Fancy Flambeau is the darling of the London stage and captures the eye of every gentleman charmed by her beauty. Fancy, however, refuses to be any man's mistress, though Prince Stepan Kazanov relishes the opportunity. Stepan, no H, so Stepan. Relishes the opportunity to change her mind and show her the delights of sensual pleasure. Tempting as his whispered promises may be, Fancy vows to avoid the heartbreaking fate that befell her mother when she gave her love to a selfish aristocrat. But Stepan's games of seduction take a serious turn when terror sweeps through London. A killer, dubbed the Rose Petal Murderer, is preying upon pretty young women. Desperate to keep Fancy safe, Stepan abducts her from the city, and soon the heat of anger and long-denied passion melts into ecstasy. Yet the bliss they find in each other's arms may not be enough to make Fancy forget the past, or protect them both from the dangers that come from denying a love that is meant to be. Next we have a classic, The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I have the movie with Demi Moore and Gary Oldman, I believe. I love that movie. I love that movie. And what do I always say? If there is a book-to-movie adaptation, always watch the movie first, because you are less likely to bitch than if you read the book first and then you watch the movie and you're going to be nitpicking about, oh, they changed this and they cut out this and blah blah blah. If you watch the movie first, you are more likely to enjoy the movie for its standalone what it is, and then there's a book for you to explore more of the movie that you already love. So that is my take on it. It is a hill that I will die on. Always watch the movie first. But I'm very looking forward to reading the classic itself. And this was, will it tell me when it was first published? In 1850, y'all. Indeed, 1850. Whoosh. Hailed by Henry James as the finest piece of imaginative writing yet put forth in the country. I am not a fan of Henry James. I tried his Portrait of a Lady, and oh, no, that one did not work for me. He was one of those, I guess he got paid by the word sort of deals, where it took him like 15 sentences to get out a point. Like, the same reason that Jane Austen doesn't work for me. And, yeah, so, him blurbing this book, I don't know. Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter reaches to our nation's historical and moral roots for the material of great tragedy. Set in an early New England colony, the novel shows the terrible impact of a single passionate act. The novel shows the terrible impact a single passionate act has on the lives of three members of the community. The defiant Hester Prynne, the fiery, tortured Reverend Dimmesdale, and the obsessed, vengeful Chillingworth. So, very much looking forward to that, since I did enjoy the book. The next one is also a classic, and it's To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And I just picked up the movie with the amazing, gorgeous, talented Gregory Peck. Cannot wait to watch that one. I will likely be reacting to that one. I'm going to save that one for a reaction. Definitely. And in my reaction channel, there's also a reaction to Cape Fear with Gregory Peck and Robert Mitchum. All the links to everything will be in the description if you want to go check that out. But I definitely want to read the book, but of course I will be watching the movie first. So I think To Kill a Mockingbird is such an iconic piece of literature that it has worked its way into sort of pop culture, and you sort of know what it's about without even having read it. So I would like to read it. The unforgettable novel of a childhood in a sleepy southern town and the crisis of conscience that rocked it. To Kill a Mockingbird became both an instant bestseller and critical success when it was first published in 1960. It went on to win the Pulitzer Prize in 1961 and was later made into an Academy Award-winning film, also a classic. Compassionate, dramatic, and deeply moving, To Kill a Mockingbird takes readers to the roots of human behavior, to innocence and experience, kindness and cruelty, love and hatred, humor and pathos. Now with 18 million copies in print and translated into 10 languages, this regional story by a young Alabama woman claims universal appeal. Harper Lee always considered her book to be a simple love story. Today it is regarded as a masterpiece of American literature. That doesn't really tell you what it's about, does it? Well, it's this court case of a black man who was accused of killing a white woman, raping and killing a white woman, and the lawyer who defends him, and that lawyer's young daughter, and sort of how their lives all sort of converge in this court case. And yeah, so definitely looking forward to this one for sure. No. There's a label in here. A Christmas gift tag. I realize. This one is Catherine Cookson's The Solace of Sin. And I am gradually trying to get all Catherine Cookson's and read them. Because one of my favorite YouTubers here, Becky's Book Reviews, she got a ton of Catherine Cookson's and intersperses reviews of those books with other books that she's also reading. And just the way that she talks about them just makes me want to read them. But that's usually the case with all her videos. Just the way that she talks about them makes me want to read them. That's how I started, wanted to get into the Robert Galbraith Cormoran Strike books. The way that she raves about them, and I'd seen the movies and loved them. So when she started talking about Catherine Cookson, just the way that she talks about some of them just makes them sound really, really interesting, and it's my sort of thing. The sort of early historical London coming of age, that kind of sort of, I'm not sure how how else to describe them, but just sort of like that. I really sort of love books like that. So this one is The Solace of Sin. Published in... Jeez, look at her backlist, y'all. Good Lord. She's like... Good heavens. Originally... Oh, this was actually pretty recent. Pretty recent to me. 1988. Yeah, 1988. And let's read the back blurb. As soon as she saw Shekinah Hall on the wild moorlands near Hexham, Constance Stapleton was attracted to it. With her marriage to Jim on the brink of collapse, Connie sensed that the move would initiate the separation from Jim she knew was inevitable. Connie was told she must negotiate with Vincent O'Connor if she wanted to buy the house. Although his abrupt manner took her by surprise, she was to discover that mystery was a way of life for Vincent and began to rely on him increasingly as she settled into her new routine. However, when shocking revelations about her husband came to light, she realized that her life at Shekinah could be under threat. So looking forward to that one. Next one is another historical auto-buy author. I love her books. Midnight Pleasures with a Scoundrel by Lorraine Heath. And I don't think it has a note. There's no insert cover. Oh, but there's the back. Does it have an actual blurb, though? Yeah, the blurb is actually on the inside. On a quest to avenge her sister's death, Eleanor Watkins never expected to fall for the man following her through the pleasure gardens and into ballrooms. But soon nothing can keep her from the arms of the sinfully attractive scoundrel. Not even the dangerous secrets she keeps. Strong, compassionate, and utterly irresistible, James is all she desires. But can she trust him enough to let her succumb to all the pleasures that midnight allows? James Swindler. Oh, that's not a good name. That's not a good last name. No. Has worked hard to atone for his unsavory past. I'm guessing it matched his last name? He is now as at home in London's glittering salons as he is in the roughest streets. But when the inspector is tasked with keeping watch on a mysterious lady suspected of nefarious deeds, he is determined to use his skills at seduction to lure Eleanor into revealing her plans. Instead, he is the one seduced, turning away from everything he holds dear in order to protect her, no matter the cost to his heart. And this one was from 2009 by Jan Nowowski. Is that her real name? I didn't know Lorraine Heath was a pen name. I'll be goddamn. I did not know that. Huh. You learn something new every day. Next, this one does not have a cover. And I actually found it in a free little library. It's The Exiles by William Stewart Long. And there's no cover. There's the back cover there. And right away I was like, yes, please, because this looks like even this back cover does not seem like it will be long for this world. But it seems like one of those like epic saga books that I adore. Voyage to the Last Frontier. They came from England, thieves, felons, murderers, justly and unjustly accused, human cargo destined to hack a life from the harsh Australian wilderness. Packed into the teeming holds of His Majesty's ships, they sailed treacherous seas. They sailed treacherous seas to the icy desolation of Antarctica, to the South Cape of Tasmania, to Captain Cook's anchorage in Botany Bay. It was a cruel, violent fate for 15-year-old Jenny Taggart. Falsely accused of theft, she was torn from her loved ones, a beautiful child among hardened convicts, an innocent in the craft of survival. Betrayed by her beauty, sustained by courage, she would endure to become the queen of the convicts, target of passion and vengeance in a raw, merciless land. The Exiles, Volume 1, The Australians. So, yeah, there's no cover there. There's the back cover. You know how much I am looking forward to that. Gripping, dramatic, superb historical novel that does for Australia what the Kent Family Chronicles does for America. Kent Family books were written by John Jakes, who did the North and South books, which one of my very, very favorite miniseries of all time. The 80s miniseries with Patrick Swayze and James Reed and Leslie Ann Down. Not the Elizabeth Gaskell North and South miniseries, which I still have not watched and or read. But definitely going to do that at some point. But the Kent Family miniseries I did enjoy. Not as much, granted, as the North and South miniseries, but it was still good. And so this one is sort of in that same vein of like family saga. So looking forward to that. Next we have The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. And I have a Paper Mill Press beautiful edition of this book that I believe I showed in a previous book haul. And I wanted to get a more sort of like paperback edition so that this one I can underline and tab and annotate and do all that good stuff too. So this was the paperback version that I got. And oh, when was The Exiles published? Hang on, I forgot to do that. Oh, there's a map inside. Published in 1979. 1979. And The Secret Garden (1911). 1911. When orphaned Mary Lennox comes to live at her uncle's great house on the Yorkshire moors, she finds it full of mysterious secrets. There are nearly 100 rooms, most of which are locked, and the house is filled with creepy old portraits and suits of armor. Mary rarely sees her uncle, and perhaps most unsettling of all is that at night she hears the sound of someone crying down one of the long corridors. The gardens surround the odd property. The gardens surrounding the odd property are Mary's escape, and she explores every inch of them, all except for the mysterious walled-in locked garden. Then one day, Mary discovers a key. Could it open the door to the garden? I'm guessing yes. There we go. Very much looking forward to that one. Next we have another classic, a Penguin classic, and you know how much I love those, by W. Somerset Maugham, M-A-U-G-H-A-M, Maugham, of Human Bondage. And you know how much I love my Penguin Black Spine classics. I loved the movie The Painted Veil, which, here's a bookmark in here. I likely got this at chapters. I loved the movie The Painted Veil with Edward Norton and Naomi Watts. I loved that movie so much. And so I got the book, which is in another pile here somewhere that I don't think I've shown off yet. I don't think so. So when I saw the author's name again, I was like, oh, let me see. And sort of the back blurb is still, like, sounds really interesting to me. And I think that I'm going to enjoy it as much as when I finally get to read The Painted Veil. But let's start the blurb here. Oh, let's do when it was published. If it will say, because sometimes the Penguin Classics don't. 1915. 1915. I was gonna say not. I thought it was older, like in the 1800s or something, but no. An orphan brought up by a pious uncle and an ineffectual aunt. Philip Carey eagerly launches himself into adventure at age 18. After some months spent wandering Europe in an attempt to find himself, he returns to London to train as a doctor. It is here that he encounters Mildred, the doomed but formidable object of an obsessive love affair that provides the pivot of this marvelous novel. Mom has no rival in the portrayal of human emotion, and he creates an almost unbearable tension for his readers as Philip suffers, despairs, and pays the price for passion, a price that is almost too high. So, definitely looking forward to this, and The Painted Veil when I get to it. So, yep, I think that he is going to be an author that I really enjoy, just because the plot for The Painted Veil was so good, and the plot for this seems sort of in that same sort of human emotion, love, kind of cost of love, exploring of love, of obsession, of like that's my, yeah. Definitely look forward to that one. Next, we have A House Without Windows by Nadia Hashimi. This one was published in, this seems like a recent, I believe. It's more recent novel. (2016), so not that long ago at all. And I remember I got this one at the Book Exchange, which is not there anymore. It closed, unfortunately. But I did find a crap ton of bookstores, used bookstores, on College, which I guess the Book Exchange was closer, but in terms of, there's like 4 or 5 bookstores on this one stretch of street on College, between I think between around like Ossington and Lansdowne. There's like 4 or 5 bookstores. So I'm sad about the Book Exchange, but I'm set that there's still like other relatively close by that I can still go to. But this one I got there. And let's read the insert, the back blurb, or the insert cover, which is where the blurb is in this one. For most of her life, Zeba has lived quietly in an Afghan village, a loyal wife and loving mother. But on one horrific day, her family's world is shattered when her husband, Kamal, is found brutally murdered with a hatchet in the courtyard of their home. Covered in Kamal's blood and catatonic with shock, Zeba refuses to explain what happened. Barely escaping a vengeful mob, she is sent to Kabil's Chilmatab, a woman's prison. As Zeba awaits trial, she befriends other women whose own misfortunes have led them to these bleak cells. Nafisa, imprisoned to protect her from an honor killing, Latifa, a runaway who stays in the jail because it is a safe haven, and Mezgan, pregnant and unmarried, jailed for zina, or love crimes. The women whisper among themselves, is Zeba really a cold-blooded killer? Has she truly inherited her mother's powers of jadoo, witchcraft, which can bend fate to her will? Can she save herself or them? Into this closed world comes Yusuf, Zeba's Afghan-born, American-raised lawyer, whose desire to help his homeland has brought him back. With the fate of this seemingly ordinary housewife in his hands, Yusuf discovers that, like Afghanistan itself, his client may not be at all what he imagines. A moving and often surprising look at the lives of modern Afghan women. A House Without Windows is astonishing, unforgettable, and triumphant. Oh, she has a few other books too. The Pearl That Broke Its Shell, When the Moon is Low. And I love sort of books where like the women are the heroines in sort of the Middle Eastern world. I don't know why, because it's so far removed from my own experience and existence, and I don't know why I have such an affinity for like those kinds of novels. I feel sort of the same way about those set in the Jewish community. Like, I don't know why. I'm a Canadian Portuguese Catholic. I don't know where this comes from. Maybe if you want to attribute it to like past lives thing, I don't know. But I've always loved these kinds of books. So looking forward to this one. And I saved the best for last. You know how much I love the Anne of Green Gables series. It is my third favorite series of all time, next to The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons and the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. The Anne of Green Gables series by Lucy Vaughn Montgomery is number 3. And I have all the books in paperback, all like underlined and tabbed and all that beautiful stuff as I was reading them. And you know how much I love the paper mill press editions of books. So of course, I had to look for and find the paper mill press edition. This gorgeous beauty. Anne of Green Gables and Anne of Avonlea. So the 2 books. I tried finding the others. I think these are the only 2 that they have in the paper mill press editions. But that's okay. I am so happy to have found this edition. Nope, that's upside down. So happy. I mean, it is so beautiful and metallic. I mean, oh my god. And then look at the back. And that's like metallic as well. I mean, oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Look at how gorgeous it is. I love this so much. I'm so glad that I found it. So that is definitely, oh, and the inside is green, of course. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So I'm so happy that I have that. Now, for the winner of last month's book giveaway, which was for Unforgettable by Roseanne Bittner. The winner of that is SongsNation _YT. That's SongsNation _YT. And so I will leave my email address in the description to this video, the October book haul video. This video that we're recording right now. And so hopefully you are subscribed so that you know when this video goes up. And then I will leave my email in the description, and then you can email me your mailing address and I can get the book out to you ASAP. So for this month's giveaway, this month, the October book haul giveaway, which will be, the winner will be announced in the November book haul video. So make sure that you're subscribed so that if you enter this month, you will know next month if I pick your name. So the book that we're giving away for this month's book haul giveaway is The Wolf by Lorenzo Carcaterra. Now, I love Lorenzo Carcaterra's books. Sleepers, of course, is top tier. And there's Safe Place, there's Gangsters, there's Paradise City, there's The Boys, I think it's called. But Sleepers is, top tier. If you have not seen the movie, the harrowing, very difficult to watch, powerful movie that was based on a true story, no matter what certain people want you to believe that it wasn't true, as if that kind of shit is not going on right now as we speak, about these boys who got sent to a reform school where they suffered horrible, horrible abuse and then get revenge on their abusers later on when they become adults. So that's Sleepers. This one, The Wolf, there's always sort of like a mafia kind of thread through Lorenzo Carcaterra's books, which I enjoy because you know how much I love my mafia stories. This one just kind of didn't quite hit the mark for me, because I think there was too much. It was more about like him sort of getting revenge on like these terrorists, and that didn't really like interest me like all that much. But the book itself is still good. It just wasn't a keeper for me. But it might work more for you. So that's why I'm giving it away. It is Lorenzo Carcaterra's The Wolf. Let's read the back blurb. My name is Vincent Morelli, though most people call me The Wolf. You've never met me, and if you're lucky, you never will. I run the biggest criminal operation in the world. We're invisible, but we're everywhere. Wherever you go, whatever you do, however you spend your money, a piece of it lands in our pockets. You would think that with that kind of power I would be invincible. But because I let my guard down, my wife and daughters were murdered by terrorists. That was my mistake. but it was also theirs. I wasn't looking for a war, but they've left me with nothing but a desire for revenge. So a war is what they'll get. International organized crime against every known terrorist group. We won't get them all, but I will get vengeance, or I will die trying. They will know my name. They will feel my wrath. They will fear the wolf. So, like, his story and his scenes and, like, his sort of, like, relationships. Jimmy! Oh, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy. I enjoyed. I love those parts. It's just the bits with, like, the terrorist cells and that kind of the intricacies of that and the that didn't really. I found myself skimming a lot of that. But maybe that stuff will, like, be more interesting for you. But either way, this was an enjoyable book. Not a keeper for me, but maybe it'll be a keeper for you. So, if you'd like to be entered to win, leave a wolf emoji. A wolf for, like, a dog or something. Like, if you can leave a wolf emoji, if you can. And along with the title and or title and author of the book. So either leave a wolf emoji and or title and author in the comments if you'd and let me know that you'd like to be entered to win. And I will pick the winner for this book in November's book haul. So make sure that you are subscribed so you know when that video goes up. So for the winner of this month's book haul, October, Roseanne Bittner's Unforgettable, I will leave my email address in the description. Email me your mailing address and I will get the book to you ASAP. So I think that is going to be it for this week's video. Let me know if you have read any of these books, again with no spoilers, and which one do you think I should read first? Which one do you think are you most excited for me to read? And yeah, follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/authorejamie. Like my Facebook page at facebook.com/authorejamie, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!